Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley and this is the Lace Spirit Design Studio. So it has been a minute. It actually feels kind of funny to talk to the camera again. And yes, I got a haircut, but that's not what we're here for. It is February of 2024 and I knew that I was going to take a little bit of a break in January, but I didn't expect it to be what it became. So thank you guys for waiting so patiently for more content from me. But I also, even though we are in February now, decided that I really need to get organized and actually buckle down and tackle some stuff. Because all of the year 2023, I didn't have a wall calendar and I didn't have a planner. I had a planner, I had it all set up and everything. Like I had every month set out to use and I just didn't use it. So I think that really contributed to scrambling. So I have a new planner. This is the Forest Planner by Nicole Josephine. I backed the Kickstarter and I decided, even though it's February, we're gonna start my calendars for February and I'm going to talk about some small business, some personal, some Artist Alley goals. So usually when I do these videos, if you watch the previous, I think there's 2, I will go back from the previous year, talk about the goals that I marked off, and then start making new goals. And I usually react to those videos, but I feel like this time, since almost nothing got done on my list, there's really no point because I'm just gonna be looking at the camera the whole time. So what I actually want to do is just pull out last year's bullet journal, which is almost completely empty except for miscellaneous notes, and this goals page, and talk about the ones that I ticked off and then kind of move into building my plans for this year. So let's get on to that. Okay, so my first goal for the last few years has always been to stay self-employed, and I definitely did that. So nice to check that off. Keep up with content was my next one. This is also one that makes it onto the list every year, and I didn't. I was really good at the beginning of the year, and then we got sick, and I just totally fell off the wagon, and like, I feel like ever since then, I have not been able to keep up with anything. So we definitely didn't do that. I also didn't launch a single Kickstarter. I have on here that I wanted to launch 2 Kickstarters and I had plans for them. And I don't remember honestly why I didn't. I think I just decided to focus on other things. Use more traditional mediums. That's another one that keeps making it onto my goals list. And the only thing I did do traditional medium wise was the Copic unboxing and making that little periwinkle doodle. I wouldn't cross this off because I don't feel like I accomplished the goal. Keep my online shops open. I explained in my 2023 video that in 2022, I had closed my Etsy for the Etsy strike and then just left it closed for like most of the year, and that killed my sales. So I did leave my shop open and that was amazing. Reorganize my inventory. I did do that. If you guys are new to the channel, in August of last year, 2023, I did an entire studio makeover, and there are several videos, you can check them out on that series, and they're a lot of fun because I made it really cute in here, as you can see. Scheduled shop updates. I don't know, I'm gonna cross that one off just because like I wasn't doing them by the seat of my pants. I had a rough idea and they still came to be. Wholesale orders was my next one, and that's another one that I'm going to use again because I really want to be working less myself and start making things work for me. And wholesale is one of those. I have a couple of places that are interested in carrying my stuff. It's just not we're buying it up front. It's more like a renting the space, and whatever you make that month, that's what you get at the end of the month or whatever. I haven't made a decision yet on whether or not I'm going to try those out. It might be a good happy medium. Be on top of and ahead of things was the next one, and that is so vague that it's vague but it's not, and I obviously that didn't happen because it's February and I'm doing this again. And better work-life balance. I would say it got worse in 2023, so that also didn't happen. And a lot of these are making its way to my next year of goals, but I have more specific goals in mind. So let's get into putting together the list of goals for this year. Okay, so it is a few days later, and it took me a lot longer to do this part of the video than I expected it to, but it is now much more interesting than what I had previously filmed for this part, so let's get into my goals and how far I've broken them down, because that's the level we're at for 2024. We are doing as much organization as humanly possible. So let me show you what's in this book so far. Okay, so I did mention before, this is the Force Planner by Nicole Josephine. I backed the Kickstarter, and I'm obsessed with this, and I'm already worried about not having it for next year, so I'm considering buying a couple more because the way it's set up is literally just perfect for me. So I've already written out all of my goals. I was going to go over them one by one as I wrote them out, but that wasn't very interesting. So I decided to pick up from this point and then discuss all of these goals broken down as far as I can possibly break them down. Real quick, I'll just go over them and talk a bit about each one. I have broken them down into goals for Lace Spirit Designs, goals for Spooky Stickers, both of my businesses, personal goals, and financial goals. And the financial goals are kind of just generic financial goals between my own personal life and my businesses. So for Lace Spirit Designs, I want to grow my online sales, and you'll notice these little like underscores. I'm not going to go over these right now because I'll talk more about action steps in the other part of the video, but basically growing on my online sales, I want to step away from doing as many conventions as we're doing. And I don't want to rely on conventions as much as I do for my income. So I'm hoping to have a bigger presence online and get most of my sales through online sales. Reduce my expenses. This is a huge one because I was complaining last year that most of my expenses for business is in manufacturing. And something that I have found that is very tricky is I make a good amount of money through the year from my businesses, but more than half of that in some cases is going to expenses. And that's not cool. So I'm like not even keeping half the money that I make. So as somebody who's in their 30s and wants to progress in life as an adult, I have to figure out ways to reduce them and then create more. This one's really generic. It's a broader version of the use traditional mediums that I talked about previously. I just need to create more in general and get back to finding my creative spark in any capacity that I can, because I think it's going to help with burnout. So then we're on to the spooky sticker side. This one is more specific because my goals line up mostly with Lace Spirit, and usually when something happens with one, it happens with the other. So I just made these more specific to this particular brand. Grow my clientele, which is another way of saying grow my online sales because I only operate online for this one. But I want to expand my reach and expand the audience for spooky stickers and just be able to pick up more clientele, because this is literally, spooky stickers is half of my income. And the more I grow at all, like the more it will grow. So I want to keep up with the demand, and I also want to just be in more people's lives, I guess. Buy an in-house printer. This one may shock some of you because all of my printing currently is outsourced to a local printer. But for reasons I'll get into shortly, I want to have a little bit more control over my printing needs. Phase 2 of the website. So we launched the Spooky Stickers website last June, and after 4.5 years of using like emails and Google Forms and stuff to order, like it was an incredible thing. I don't know why we didn't do it sooner. And phase 2 of the website is everything that didn't get done or were wish list things that we're going to add to the website. So this is something I'm going to have to get with my bestie on because they're the one who built my websites. So that is something hopefully we can do later this year. Lastly, hire help. And I put this on Spooky Sticker side, even though whatever help I hire is going to probably help both aspects of the business. But the more I grow Spooky Stickers, the more that's going to be the area that needs to be handed off to somebody else to run, because that's something, for the most part, that can be delegated. And then really quickly, going over the more personal things, be more active, because I am a couch potato and a lazy girl at heart. So in any capacity, I would like to move more, especially as I age and things are getting more and more creaky. In the same vein, I need to leave the house more because I'm working out of a bedroom in my house, and I can go literally days without leaving the house for anything. even just walking to the mailbox. So I'm going to try and find more fun and creative ways for me to leave the house that is not just errands. Find healthy coping mechanisms is my next one, because burnout, and I find that I spend a lot of my time mindlessly scrolling the internet and social media and finding garbage on TV to fill my time. So there's a lot to do for this one. And then financial is streamline my accounts, which I'll go over soon, manage my debt, and save $5,000, because savings is also something that, along with having half of my income going to expenses, is something that is very tricky. So really quickly, I'm going to show you how I've broken this stuff down. So I have also done, each month gets a little habit tracker. Then there's my monthly overviews, blah, blah, blah. I have space for brain dumps, and then I get into the months that bleed from one to the next. And I've made these little stickers to show my weekly goals, because otherwise on that section it's just a little weekly overview calendar, and I wasn't using this, so I figured that's going to be a better use of my space. So let me show you now the other part that I've done, because this is great. Having a physical planner has always been extremely crucial for me. So I've also, I think I covered it in the other one. I'll go over that real quick too. I made a wall calendar finally. And I also put together a huge, extremely detailed Notion page for these goals. So let's check out those. So along with having a physical planner with everything pretty much written in it, I have taken a page out of Katnipp's book and I downloaded the Notion template called Goals Planning by Wild Amani Creative. And let me just show you what I've done with it. Okay, so I have taken creative liberties with this and done something completely different than what Katnipp did, and even more so than what the original template was from. But I knew that if I wasn't organized in a more, if I was just going by the super vague, simple goals that I wrote in the beginning of this planner, I wasn't going to get anything done, because I will not flip back to that page until next year when I'm reviewing what I did and didn't do. So I am taking matters into my own hands, and I have built a monster. But the rest of you who are spreadsheet girlies like I am will appreciate this, because let's just get into it. So we have, you know, the cute things that are on here, the year to glance, words for 2024, organized, prosperous, growing. My mantra for 2024, which is from a book that I recently read, and my annual affirmations. And I have them split up in, then there's a cute little periwinkle. And then we are getting into the goals. So I've broken down each one into sections. And then I've broken before I did anything else, I did my goals. I copied them down here from what's in the beginning, and then I made this section, which is the actions for each one, and I split them up, and I did all this stuff. There's like specific things, but they're just a general collection of specific things that I can add to and tick off when I'm done. So from those, I came back up here and I made quarterly goals. And this is an idea I got from Julianne Doodles, aka Peppercut, because I never thought to break my goals down from big goals to actionable steps. And this is something that I went a little bit crazy about. So I did goals by quarter for each section that I did, and then I made a table broken down with little icons on the side that I'll probably delete when I'm done. Broken them down to weekly goals, weekly action steps, and some of them are a little bit repetitive. Like a lot of my financial ones is like, one of my goals for the first quarter is put $150 into savings every week, so that by the end of where I'm starting for this quarter, which is in February, I will have $1,000. So a lot of those are repeated because it's not like there's something I can do for that for the next like 6 weeks. So, and I only did them up to the end of the second quarter because there's a lot of stuff on here that once I do certain things or do certain research, will inform the rest of the year and the rest of the tasks. So I didn't want to waste time by filling in a bunch of stuff that's probably going to get changed or moved around. And I'll just probably go in sometime in the next month or so and keep adding as I tick stuff off. So in my planner, I showed you that I have the little boxes that I made to put over the weekly stuff that I translate those weekly goals onto every week. And that way, I try to do it for a couple weeks ahead so that I know. I think I have some blank ones so you can see. Yeah, like these. And I have them highlighted in the same colors as my spirit, spooky stickers, personal, and financial, so that I know which one it correlates to. And I didn't go into it, but the habit tracker at the beginning that goes into each month, it's all the same goals on there. I just put the ones that are the most recurring, that by the end of that goal section, be it year or quarter or weekly, whatever, those are on there that I can track throughout the year. So I think it's going to be a good and prosperous year. Really quickly, I will show you my calendar. I don't know if you can see this. It's literally just every month, even starting in February. And in case I do this again next year where I'm completely unorganized and not starting early, the last month is, you can't see that. Oh, I just ripped it out. The last month is January of 2025. With the exception of 2023, I have been doing these calendars since I think 2019 maybe, but they're really helpful when I use them because this is my year at a glance. And last year I think I had done monthly tasks over here, but this time I can translate my quarterly goals even though they're listed in like 3 other places. It's just something I can turn and look at. But for the most part, it's just like a quick calendar view, quick seeing if we have anything going on. And yeah, it's very simple. It's also very cute. So that is the goals for 2024. I'm really excited to be this organized, even though it took me a month and a half. I was joking earlier this year that I'm on Lunar New Year time, and wow, was that not a joke at all. It was true. So it's nice to have action steps instead of just a general looming fear of like, oh God, am I going to accomplish the goals that I set out to do this year? No, I'm going to, because every week I have something to do that's going to get me closer to them. So hopefully I can stay on top of everything and just, I don't know, I guess give myself more grace because I am human and life happens, and it has been happening a lot. And maybe I just need to start expecting things to happen in January because it's always when stuff happens. I'm excited to see what the end of the year looks like now, and hopefully I'll start this process in December next year. This year! If you guys are interested in this template, this is not a sponsored Notion video, by the way. If you want to sponsor me Notion, though, I wouldn't decline. If you want this template, it is totally free. Here's where I got it from. I mean, it took me a minute to figure out how to use Notion, but now that I know, it's just another spreadsheet to work on. Yeah, so we have the three things, and this is on my phone too. I have Notion on my phone. We have the wall calendar back. We have my planner back that's totally ready to use for the rest of the year. All I have to do is turn the page. And I have a digital version that's much less scary to mark in than the physical things. So I am setting myself up for success, even if it is a little bit late in the game, but I'm eager to review this. And I've linked all of the other things that I've talked about, all the other videos I mentioned. So if you want to watch any of my other like year in review videos and my goal videos, feel free to do so. I also have linked to my studio makeovers. And be sure to stay tuned for next week because we are getting back into Con Crunch. We will be at SJ Made Friend Fest at the end of February, 24-25 in San Jose. And we will be at table E402 right in the middle. So come by and see us if you'll be in the area. It's free to attend. And you can check out the adorable booth in person, which here it is real quick from SAC Anime Summer, or SAC Anime Winter. And so we will be prepping now. I'm probably going to jump into that immediately. And I will see you guys in the next vlog. Thank you so much for watching. Bye! And that's why I wish you the best and say goodbye. You start to get